like pretty much, well, no here.
What's going on? Monologue Mondays is here with Marcus Woods. I am back. Y'all, please excuse me being late and tardy. And last week, y'all know I was on set. So on set was a good time. We had a good time with A Good Man 3, getting ready to come out really soon. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Look, I got to jump in here because I got two of the dopest guys that I know. And it's just funny how life goes, how you meet people and how things go like that. So I just want to get right into it and introduce to you guys none other than Quentin Sharpe and Rob Murphy. I'm so happy to have y'all here, man. People don't know who I got in the room right now. You know what I mean? The two of y'all in the room right now is so big. And I want y'all to go ahead and introduce yourselves. You know what I mean? Talk about yourself and tell me what you got coming up, and then we gonna chop it up from there.
Well, I'm actor, actor Quentin Sharpe. We got the big premiere, movie coming up. Life story of my guy here, Rob Murphy. This Wednesday, August 20th, at the Imagine Royal Oak.
Okay.
Red carpet starts at 6:00, and so we're just here, man, to talk about the movie and kind of like going not too much detail, but give you a little glimpse of what's going on, and hope you can come out Wednesday and check out this man's life story, man.
Sure.
I appreciate that, Q. Thanks for having me too, Woods.
Yeah.
I gotta say this too first. Forgive me, you the man too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The way you broke down, you should have like a class of your own.
Yeah.
The way you educated Q and the advice you gave him prior to the show. I'm always listening. I'm always learning.
Yeah.
Because I ain't in this space. I've just jumped in this space. But the things you said for 15 minutes as we were waiting, you need to start something. I don't know. You gave out a lot of knowledge, right?
Thank you so much.
And a lot of advice, because in the basketball world, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Right? So you in depth giving great advice and great information. I had to say that.
I
'Cause
appreciate
listened to
you,
and I did a lot of listening. But just Rob Murphy here from Detroit. Obviously, I published a book in 2019, Deep, The Life of Rob Murphy. Started to get some traction from different people around the country that wanted to bring it to the screen. COVID hit, kind of shut it down. Got back going, and then I understood that it was some local production companies and directors that can bring it to the light as well. I got to talk and got with Dennis Reed II on DR2 Productions, and he was able to bring my story to light, which is great for me. Being here from Detroit, growing up here in the inner city, it was, rough times, rough area, losing my mom at an early age, never meeting my father, jumping into the street life, having a coach come into me and kind of derail me to go the right way. Told me I was a great communicator. I led the athletes, but I led the street guys, but you got to kind of hone that in and do the right thing. So he encouraged me and challenged me to go to college, major in education. He was going to save his high school job for me once I graduated. Wow. So I took that advice. I listened, very coachable. Did that, came back, started teaching and coaching. One step led to the next stop, led to the next stop, and I've been able to experience some great things through the grace of God. Very, very fortunate. And then to bring this film to light now at this time, not a better time, and then to have the cast, the local cast of great actors right here in Detroit. I don't think people really understand the talent that's right here that I've learned. I'm in the sports world and the basketball world, and I tell people we got some of the best talent athletically here, from musicians, actors, directors, right here in this city, in this state that's getting it done. And very thankful for Q when we did the casting. I mean, when they, laid it down, I said, well, is he going to cut his beard? That was my only concern. 'Cause I saw the resemblance, but then when he cut it, and then he jumped into the role. He talked about King Wesley a little bit earlier, but we went to Q house, me, him, and King, because he wanted to dive into his character, and Q wanted to dive into me and understand me and what I was about. And I didn't understand the importance of that of him understanding me. You know, I'm not in the lane. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what y'all want? No, we want to know your mannerisms. We want to know what your
Yep.
thoughts were when
Yep.
this happened and that happened. And they really showed me, like, they're going to take this opportunity and really run with it and be serious about it. So it made me even fall in love with the project more because of how heartfelt he was about taking the role.
Wow. Let me, you said such a mouthful in the best ways. First of all, thank you again for even saying all those things about me. I appreciate it. And I do got an acting class coming up really soon. So y'all tap in because it's going to be good. And just the way I give information is I tell Peaches all the time, my manager be like, you give away all the secrets. I just want everybody to win. Just how I am. I want everybody to win.
Exactly.
But thank you for that. And just, it's just so good to hear you tell just a glimpse of your story just a minute ago to there. I would have never thought that about you. You know, people will see you and look at the finished product, right?
Exactly.
And be like, oh, he ain't never been through nothing. But here you are, you've been through something, and now here you are. Not only did you change your life, you turned it into a book and now into a movie.
Right.
Don't tell us great things don't come out of Detroit. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Don't tell us great things don't come out of Detroit because they do. You know what I mean? So I appreciate you even sharing that story and to have my brother Q doing it. It's to hear you say what he just said about you, Q, is already what I knew about you as an actor. The fact that I know that you wanted to study this man, already lets me know I cannot wait to see this film and for you to even buy in and just be like, all right, whatever y'all say, this y'all world, you know what I mean? But I know you did your homework. So how was that? How was that actually having the man with you, having Rob with you right there and really like looking at the lines, looking at the book, looking at him, studying him? How was that?
Man, we this is the first time I've ever gotten to break it. Well, the first time we did a life story on someone, but I'm even a producer or anything like that, sitting down and breaking the script down. And, you know, he broke it down like, hey, this is what I was doing at this particular point. I wasn't, intense here. You know, I was laid back, so this, that, and other. So this is, and then, like I say, after, we talked, and him and King Wesley was at my house after we talked, and then he left. Then me and King Wesley, we went over it, and he broke it down to me. He's like, Q, you got, because my confidence is growing now.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure.
I'm saying? But a little while ago, it was just like, man, he was like, you have confidence in yourself. You got it. You already know what you're doing. Have confidence. And King helped me with that script, man. So I got to give big shouts out to King Wesley, man. That's my guy. And but it was just good, man. I always said I wanted something to separate me from me.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
I got you.
Know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Because, I played the cop, I played this and I played that. But this role here is you playing someone's life story. You want to get it close as possible, at least as satisfactory where he feels that, Q, you did a good job. Whoever's doing that, you did a great job.
Yeah.
So that was pressure.
Yeah.
Because you got, like I said, you have one time to tell your story for the first time. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
that's
want to
good.
get it right.
Yeah.
So it was just an honor, man.
So you felt the pressure a little bit. It's like
I
singing.
did, man.
It's like if you a soloist and you singing a Beyonce song while Beyonce right there. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
You're like, I hope I get it right. Like, you know what I'm saying? But how was it? Do you feel like he,
He did a great job. And we always are our hardest critics. Right?
Absolutely.
And I understand that. You want to be perfect. And I understood. So I looked at it, I look at everything from a sports, type of situation because I'm a coach, I'm a leader, I'm a mentor, and I understand how to execute, right? So sometimes you just have to make sure people are relaxed and understand that they're doing a good job. And he was doing a good job. But Q, at a couple scenes, he'd be like, what you think?
Yeah.
Q, you good, bro.
Yeah.
All you got to do is relax. You killing it. Don't even
I love
worry
it.
about it. You kill it.
Yeah.
And he was, but I wanted to let him know, like, no, this is your field. This is what you do. So I'm good. I'm going to tell you like a few lines or a few change of words that I may have to add or delete. But outside of that, the acting part, once he got in there and got going, he was good. And it goes back to preparation. See, if you're going to execute something, you got to prepare for it. And sitting at the table with him and King and then him calling me, having conversations and asking me questions, he was prepared when the camera came on. All he had to do was execute it because the preparation was at a high level.
I'm glad to hear you say that because a lot of people think all we do is we get scripts, remember lines, and then they say action and we just go. They don't know the like you said, we're trying to separate ourselves from this character. And then there's a little silver line where you and the character kind of meet. But for the most part, especially when you're doing a biopic, you want to like make this person happy that's sitting next to you. And so once you really got in that groove, how was that groove for you? Like once you you fell into the character, like I'm here now.
Yeah.
When was that moment?
Well, I would say honestly, once I got out the barber chair
Okay.
and she
So you cut the beard.
cut the beard.
Was that hard for you to get the beard cut? Would to let it go for a month or so?
No, because I know, my beard grow back quick.
Okay,
You know
okay.
what I mean? So, but it was just like, soon as she cut it, she turned around the chair and I looked at myself. Quentin was gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when I walked out to the set, or where we were preparing before you get to the set, Sonya and Dennis Reed, as soon as I turned the corner, they was like, and they started smiling. It was like, yeah, we nailed it.
Oh
We
man,
nailed it. So
I cannot wait. Like when I saw the trailer and everything, I said, "Man, Q is in it." Because let me backpedal. Let me tell you how I met Rob. Okay, this is and it was supposed to be with Shane. Shane is not here today. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna tell the story because Shane gonna watch it. So me and Shane, my cousin Shane McMullen, we're cousins. I'm looking for a trainer right at the time. I'm filming another movie. I'm looking for a trainer, and they say, go ask that little guy right there playing the bodyguard. I said, that little dude? Like, that's how I said it, the little bitty guy. And so I went over there, and I remember it was like, what up? Like, I told him who I was. Hey, I'm Marcus Shane, boom, boom. And then when I hugged him, I was like, oh, little dude kind of tight. You know what I'm saying? And then he started training me.
yeah.
We would train like 3 times a week, right? Boom. We get to talking. We find out we cousins. We didn't even know we were cousins. And so then he starts doing these step classes, Step Till You Sweat with Shane Fitness. We're doing that. And it's growing. So he's allowing me to meet new people in the fitness world. I kind of knew the film world, but in the fitness world. One day he said, man, we doing something. We're going to do something out in the park. We're going to do this stuff. And Rob Murphy coming. At the time, I didn't know. I said, all right. He said, no, man, we got to have to write this. We got to have the Pistons this. We got to have this, that. I'm like, somebody coming for real. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Yeah. Lo and behold, it's Rob. So through Shane, through fitness, because I just wanted to get right in the film world, I meet Rob. You know what I mean? And then here it is Rob's here, and he's into fitness. He's beyond fitness. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's into the sports world and all that stuff. And then now he writes a book. I remember when Shane told me about the book. You know what I'm saying? Because he was training Rob at one point.
When I was writing the book.
Right, when he was when he was writing the book, and then I remembered it, and then so when I seen the book, I said, "Cool." Then I look up, and it's you playing him. I'm like, "Look at this full circle moment," and then I even noticed you had started working out and stuff like that too.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Let's talk about real quick, how fitness plays a part in this film world. Like, you know what I'm saying? How would you equate it? Like, what did you notice when you started training? And just for your health, but what did you notice in your career as well?
I started seeing the script different because when you're working out, man, it just do something to your brain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get energy. And so I just started looking at the script like, man, and then a couple of movies I did, I had to run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so I'm running, I'm like, I'm not even breathing heavy. You know what I'm saying? It comes from working out.
Yep.
And I have a trainer, shout out to Les over at Triple Action Fitness. We do calisthenics.
Okay.
And so endurance and stuff like that. So I'm like, once I put it to the test, when you're in the gym, you're doing okay, cool. And after the gym, you really don't get a chance to use it.
Yeah.
But by me doing that and having to run and run up the steps and all that good stuff, I wasn't breathing hard. I'm like, that comes from this working out.
Yeah.
You know,
because we had 12-hour days sometimes.
Yeah, and just the mental part, man, because, not to get too personal, man, I have times where I dealt with mental depression. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That the gym helped me. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, really helped me. Like, getting up at 7 in the morning, hitting the gym, and then my day is wonderful after that.
Yep.
So, yeah, man.
It's almost like you have to do it. Once you start working out and really starting your day, people think it's just a physical thing. Like you said, it's a mental thing. It's mental, man. Yeah. Even with, and I'm sure you can attest this with pro athletes and stuff like that, you see how the working out does something up here, and really, it can get kind of spiritual if you know what I mean. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Where you're in there. So you know what I mean? And I always try to tell people like working out isn't just about you looking good. Yeah. It's about you feeling good. Yeah. And it helps your brain, helps your memory and all these good things. Man. So and I'm going to ask, like, how would you see that from, even just from a athlete standpoint, like seeing them starting to train in the beginning and seeing that pro level, like how do you see how that really helps them in that area?
Well, your skill is always going to be there, but you get the best. You get to the best version of yourself when you're in tip-top condition. Mm-hmm. I think that's any athlete, whether you're boxing, football player, basketball player, baseball player. You got to be in great shape. And even, for me, I, work out 4 to 5 out of 7 days. Like I'm dedicated to the sauna, to the swimming pool, to lifting, maybe do a little cardio. But that sauna and steam room and really, flushing out those toxins and making sure you keep yourself right is important. And, Shane, in mentioning him, obviously he had me after probably 20 years of being out of school. He had me back to my playing shape. And I was in shape, cut up. I mean, one time for like probably a 3-month span, we got up at 4:30.
Yeah, that sound like Shane.
Single morning.
Yeah.
And he held you accountable.
Yes,
so if you got in there at 4:45, it's a problem, right? But I'm a disciplinarian, so I'm going to be there on time. But there's a couple of times I'm a little late.
Right, right.
And he like, well, we got to do A, B, and C because you coming in here and I don't want you wasting my time. And didn't matter my status or who I was. I wanted somebody that can hold me accountable.
Yeah.
And even, the nutrition part of it.
Yep.
I had to change that because that's half the battle is watching what you eat. So getting all that out your system and then really getting to it. And he really gets to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As you know, we call it getting to the money.
If you
want to get to the money, you got to really get to it and make sure health is wealth, as they say. I know it's a simplistic term, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And if you want to live a long time, I mean, obviously, by the grace of God, we're all here every single morning when we wake up. But at the same time, while you're here, you got to make sure you implement everything into your life that's going to help you stay here as long as you possibly can, that you can control. Yeah. So working out and the physical fitness of it is extremely important for your body and for your mind and for your spirit, for your soul. You have to do it.
It's full package. You don't get successful without taking care of the full thing. You gotta do the whole thing. Like you said, in any sport, any really career period. You know what I mean. And with acting, we gotta look good.
Man, you gotta look good. I give a shout out to my guy Woods too, man. He I used to go. I went with him to Gold's Gym, and we worked on weights and bulking up and stuff like that, man. So I had to give a shout out to him too. That was 3 a.m. I would get off of work at 1:30, go home, and then come all the way back here on the east, and we'll work out at 3 a.m. to about 4:30, 4:45.
Okay.
Yeah. So that,
So let me pivot a little bit and ask, man. You people don't know. Well, people may know. You started off as club promoting and all these good things. Oh, yeah. So how did you transition from this to where we are today?
And it's crazy that you say that or you ask that, because from me hosting, a playwright came to one of my parties.
What?
And then we end up, he ended up asking me, the Mark Hunter.
Okay, Mark Hunter.
He ended up asking me, have you ever acted before? And I was like, no, I went to Spec Howard's. We did a little bit, but I'm radio, voices, everything. That's where I really wanted to go. He was like, man, I may have something for you. And he had Let It Burn. Okay. And then, but he put me in a lead role, and we did 4 shows at the Norfolk Activity Center. I'm like, how do I go from hosting, and you got me in here for 4 shows? And I was so nervous, man. I had one of the best directors that I've been around thus far. Yeah. Shantae McDougal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she gets to business, and she broke me down. And acting is reacting. You have to be coachable, directable. And she broke me down so she can fill me with what she need me to have to do what I needed to do. And after I did that, I knew I could do it. 4 shows. I broke down. The last show, me, Kyle Greenlaw, man, it was Rose Gates. We had, Javon Long. We had so many, Deb Lane. Yeah. And at the end of the last show, I broke down like a baby. Because I'm like, man, I did it in front of all these people. Mm-hmm. And I'm hosting in front of 600-700 people. Easy. That's my lane. You know what I'm saying? I get the microphone, I'm gone. But just to, no do-overs.
You know what? Shout out Mark Hunter, because I did 3rd degree with Mark Hunter. We did 3rd degree with Mark Hunter. And I remember the scene with you and Javon. You remember y'all were doing it? And I remember, and most actors don't try this at home. Yeah. Most directors don't allow you to do this. But I remember when y'all were rehearsing the scene, and I said, Mark, can I just help them out? And he was like, go ahead. Yeah. And I remember I told you, came in clean. Q always clean. Let me start there. He don't have, if it's a suit, he gonna wear it. You feel what I'm saying? But you had the suit on, and the character was supposed to be distressed. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I said, hey man, unloosen that tie.
Loosen that tie.
I said, open up that shirt. This is not a good moment for you.
Yeah.
And I remember giving you just the pointer, you and Javon just doing. And when you see that first scene, and y'all open up this movie so heavy, and I was just like, cool. And just the fact that you didn't say, "Nah, Woods, I got it."
Man,
You
listen, I look at you, man, like a legend. When you took the time out, anybody take the time out to give you some advice, some tips and stuff like that, man. I've always been a person that listens. And you can direct me. I don't have no ego, and I'm gonna do it my way. No, this is Marcus Woods telling me to.
I appreciate that, bro.
What?
For real, I appreciate that.
And I'm like, okay. And then, man, we hit it.
Such a powerful scene.
When I look, I say, man, you could tell every aspect of that scene. Distressed, you was nervous, because I was supposed to be in that scene. You know what I mean? Because people was looking for me, but we put it off, man. I thank you for that.
Man, no doubt, bro. And
Thank you
then
for that.
remember. If you can correct me if I'm wrong, was that the first time you met Dennis Reed? Was it that moment?
No, I did Dennis Reed. I used to do. He had some bow ties down at 211, the club.
Okay.
With Premier Classes. Shout out to my guy, man, my guy Daryl. Rest in peace. We did that for 5 years. So I knew him, but I wasn't in this space.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that was, I think, the first time that I did a production with him. You hear this, and Dennis Reed is down there. So yeah, I'm nervous because I want to, I still have a little nerves when I go into any set because I want to do
good,
right, man. I never would have thought, man. I'm a kid from Southwest Detroit, man. You know what I mean? And I rep that to the fullest. Also the West, I got a best of both worlds. You know what I mean? So I went to Southwestern, man, and came up. Left for Southwestern and came to Mumford. And what's so crazy is that that's where. I know Rob from. It's from Mumford. We went to school together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We graduated that year.
That is crazy. And
So
now
it
y'all
come
making a
full
movie.
circle,
That is crazy.
Yeah, man, come full circle. And I'm like, when they asked me, like, Q, would you, we got a role for you. Play Rob, Rob Murphy. I'm like, Robert Murphy? I'm like, yeah, I know Rob. Would you cut your beard? Yeah, I'll cut my beard. And it was just, man, we here.
Man, that is so crazy. I didn't know y'all went to school. That is, I love when stuff happened that I didn't write down or prepare for it. I love those type of moments. Rob, let me just ask you, man. You wear so many hats, so many hats from GM, coach, all these different hats. Which one shaped you the most as a leader?
Oh, that's a great question. I've learned and grown in every role. I tell people, always learning. Every step. That's a really good question. I never had anybody ask me that. But I'll answer it like this. I've been successful at each step because I've just been 2 feet planted. And I tell people to bloom where you planted. So whatever role you are in, you do it to the highest level that you can do it. You learn everything. I tell people you are always learning from me. You find someone to emulate when you're in those positions.
Yeah.
So as I'm leading, I'm still looking for somebody great to follow or look for examples, too, that I can latch on to continue to follow because you want to continue learning. I think most of my growth came from 2 situations. I was a high school coach at Crockett High School. We didn't have a gym. Nobody believed we could win. And in 3 years, we won a state title, which was in 2001 one of my most incredible feats. The school was a trailer at the time. They was talking about closing. We won the state championship, kept it open. They ended up moving into a different building, and the school began to flourish. And then I think the opportunity of getting to Syracuse University, getting that opportunity to work for Hall of Fame coach in Jim Boeheim, I learned so much more about the game of basketball and about the game of life even being there. And people talk about the book. Well, first was the Rob Murphy Foundation, which I started in 2014 because I wanted to give back to the inner city of Ypsilanti where I was at Eastern Michigan and also take it down to Detroit where I was from because I know what the coaches did for me. But that thought came from Jim Boeheim because Jim and Julie Boeheim started a foundation and they would give back and raise money for cancer research, but also they would give back to the inner city of Syracuse, the roughest areas.
Yeah.
So I always said, the coaching aspect was one thing, but I learned about importance of the community aspect. And then being there with him being the top assistant for USA basketball with Coach Krzyzewski, I had the inside track. I would get a chance to go to practice. I would sit in a few meetings, and I would continue to learn from the professional coaches at that time, too, that were part of the Olympic staff. So when you talk about Coach Krzyzewski and Coach K, like I seen why he he was the big boys that the big boys watch. So I was working for Jim Boeheim, but when you sitting in a meeting and you listening to him, it's a whole different level. So I'm like, wow, I'm still, when I'm going through this process and I'm being able to experience all of this, I'm still thinking back from where I came from. I'm from Dexter and Linwood. I'm from the west side of Detroit, you know, and I'm like, wow. I'm sitting there listening to Coach K put together the U.S. Olympic team, the Redeem team, and I'm at practice watching Kobe, LeBron, Melo, Dwight Howard, you know, Kyrie Irving, all of these guys, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, wow, I get a chance to be privy to all of this. So I took all of that information in the growth of Syracuse, and I was blessed enough to become the head coach at Eastern Michigan, and that's why I had success because of those moments in Syracuse. And then to have success at Eastern was great. To be the general manager and president of the Motor City Cruise was great. To get promoted to become the senior director of player personnel for the Pistons, assistant GM, and then just to see what they're doing now is some of the fruits that we were able to, you know, manufacture and put in place while we were there, and now it's blooming. It's like unbelievable. So now doing TV, I was able to do ESPN, color analyst with college basketball last year, which was great. Jumped into the representation space. But I tell people it's all basketball. It's all the sport, and you have to be versatile. You never know when you're going to have to pivot. So from a leadership standpoint, a mentorship standpoint, coaching, whether it's TV, broadcasting, you know, fundraising in the philanthropic area with my foundation, you know, you turn around and now you're a general manager, you're a president, you're on the business side raising money. You know, it's so much now. You represent players. So God has been so good to me. And I believe, you know, he gave me a great ability to communicate, you know, and be able to touch others. That's really has been my gift. To give opportunity, bring people along, continue to give back, because that's what my coach did for me. It's never about me. And I say all the time, like, if I died tomorrow, I've done it. I'll be in heaven, like, dancing. Like, because God has truly blessed me. The only thing I ask now for me is I pray for my kids to continue to grow and stay away from all hurt, harm, danger, and disease, and let me allow them to see them just continue to be successful in life. That's what my life is about, like just giving and continuing to help people. And that's why I always, you know, when I was talking to Q, I'm like, when he thanked me, I'm like, don't thank me. You deserve this, bro. Like, God is unbelievable. Like, the timing of it, the relationship, the familiarity from 25 years ago, that's nothing but God. So just, you know, walk in your purpose, believe in yourself. Like, you killing it. Like, be confident. Like he just said. And I think it's something about him because Q want to do well. But I was like, man, you done did this 100 times, bro.
So
like
you killing it.
You walk in the room, you own it. Like, I don't care what room I'm owning it when I go in there. And you going to know I own it. That's what, like, the successful people do. Right? And I've been at every level of the sport, to the apex, starting at the grassroots level. And I've been so appreciative at every stop because I've been fortunate enough to people to give me so much. Just give and bless me with opportunity. But you got to be prepared for that opportunity. And don't hit a home run, hit a grand slam. That's what I told Q he did. I'm like, man, you knocked this out the park, bro. Like, you good. I'm good. And then the cast itself, too. I thought Sonya at DR2 did a great job of casting, too, because that's important.
It's important. People don't understand how important casting is.
It is. It's really important. And I didn't understand. Like, I'm listening to you talk. That's why when you were talking to Q earlier, I was just, like, quiet because I'm listening. Like, he giving him some real game right now.
This is my brother.
Because this is what I do in my world. I'm loving this, man. My man, he was throwing down. I'm like, okay.
Man,
because people don't share it.
Yeah, you got to share
Absolutely.
it.
You're going to get it back if you do.
Come
It's
on.
going to come right back to you.
So
give it away.
I'm glad you said that because this is how Monologue Monday even started. I would go live on Instagram and have people come on and do monologues, and I would critique their monologues right then and there, and I was just giving out free information after free information, and people would say, you need to do a class, they need to be paying for this, but I was like, I always wanted to be what I wanted others to be for me. You know what I mean? And so I said, whenever I got to a place where I can have a platform where I can speak and give out free information, I'm doing it. And this I mean, look what this led to. You get what I'm saying? I got you here, and it's just you got to give back, and I love to hear this story. And I hope everybody heard how he was just talking about success and how it works. It's a mindset too.
Absolutely.
and being prepared.
Yeah.
Talking about that preparation, because as actors we know this too, and then obviously in sports, preparation means everything.
Absolutely.
They see Steph Curry shooting these half-court shots, but you don't see him in the gym. He's in there. We're not gonna talk about how he was JUCO for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Before he went into a bigger college. You know what I'm saying? Because he was too small. But he's putting in. What I mean is he's putting in the work. He's putting in the work, and here you are, bro. You putting in this work.
It's I always tell this, like I was up at DR2 studio the other day. They got the boot camp. And I just popped in, man. I was talking to. It felt good to see people, students in there coming up to me like, "Can I get a picture?"
Yeah.
And I know I was that person who was terrible in my class, which was with Moolah, and I was terrible, man. I'm telling you, I was the worst. I couldn't get my name out at audition time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so to come here and then see the kids that's doing what I did, and then they coming up to me.
Yeah.
I always tell actors when they say, "Hey, put me in a movie," I was like, "Why? Do you want your friends to see you, or do you really want to do this? You want to take classes? You want to go theater? You want to always keep theater, man, because people trying to shun that away, but theater is important.
Yeah.
It opens up your mind when you get a script. I mean, you talk from here, you're talking to the last person in a row back there, you just want to be, and we know people that do theater because we talk with our hands and we talk.
Denzel Washington says that if you want to be a star, do movies. He said if you want to be an actor, do theater.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just did Othello.
Yeah, he just did and killed it.
And he started doing Othello.
Right.
One of his plays that he did, man. And he's back after all these years. I try to do theater once a year. It's just that theater smell. It's just that getting out there. It's no do-overs.
No cut.
There's no cut. You out there, and for me, I don't even see the crowd. You know how it is, man. Like, I'm nervous before I get to where I know I'm about to come up, and I walk through that door, all that leave. Leave, man.
I always tell people, and I say this every time I get an opportunity, being nervous and excited are the same feelings.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you get to control which one you want to be. You nervous, you get the butterflies. You excited, you get the butterflies. You nervous, you sweat. You excited, you sweat. So I said you get to choose what you want to be. You get to choose if you want to be nervous or excited. So that's how I switch that energy. I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited that I got the opportunity that somebody paid to come see me.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Man. So I owe them. I'm excited. So just all of that, man. It's just this has been good. I don't want to get too far off because I still want to talk about Deep just real quick. Okay. So I want to ask you, Rob, what made you write the book and then say, you know what, this needs to be a film?
Yeah, so from where I come from, I always talk about the beginnings, the humble beginnings, and not to even go because it's deep what I endured and what I went through. So when I got to a few levels, I believe I was at Syracuse at the time, and my close friend already, Murray, was like, "Man, you might want to write a book because what you've been able to accomplish in this short period of time and where you come from, man, you need to put that on paper. This is not normal. This is unique." And I started thinking, like, yeah, I see where you're going. So when I got to Eastern Michigan, it even, it was another level because I became a head coach at the Division I level. And then I tell people writing a book, it took me probably 3 years to write it, and it became therapeutic. All the trauma I had dealt with from losing my mom, not meeting my father, you just put that aside, especially in our culture. Yeah. It's like you got to be tough. You got to brush that off and you got to keep moving. Yeah, I did that, right? And then I never really actually thought back to what I went through because I just kept pushing forward. And so much good was happening, and it wasn't perfect, but I was, taking the necessary steps to do things that hadn't been done, especially in my family or my neighborhood. Yeah. So when I started writing the book and thought back, the title Deep came from because I kept saying, "Damn, I remember that's deep." And a couple of times I cried. Yeah. So writing the book was really therapeutic. And then once I was finished with it, I remember I was kind of embarrassed, right? Because I never discussed with anybody because of where I'm at, how you looking at me. You looking at the finished, polished product. Yeah. I'm at the highest level in the height of my life and my career. And nobody never knew. So I'm like, damn, when this come out, it's going to be, people going to be like, whoa, looking at you. So I never forget, I went and talked to my president and my athletic director at Eastern Michigan, and I kind of told them, like, this is what it is. I want to come out with it. It's, about to be published. And never forget, Jim Smith, President Smith at Eastern Michigan said, "Rob, you were born into that. And I'm more impressed that you are our head coach and where you had to come from to get to this level." So he respected it and backed me. My AD respected it and backed me. And then I let it out, and everybody kind of took it in and was like, wow, we never knew. So it was therapeutic for me, and it made me feel better after the process. It was great. I'm like, dang, I needed that. I never talked to a therapist or nothing in my life. So that was great. And then again, I talked about earlier about now people start to read it. It's getting national attention. People talking about it on ESPN, Fox Sports. It's on all these syndicated shows. And then people start reaching out to buy the rights. So I'm like, I must really got something. Yeah. I would bring this to the screen.
Right,
you know
right.
what I mean? Yeah. So that process happened. So just very fortunate. But the book came from, where I was able to get to in my life. And I was thinking back then, and that same comment I made when I made it at Syracuse. I said, God, if this is it, I'm good. I'm at Syracuse University working for a Hall of Fame coach. Y'all got to be kidding me. 30,000 people in the arena.
Yeah.
Top attendance in the country every year. I'm recruiting McDonald All-Americans. We winning games. And I was like, man, well, I can't do nothing else. You know what I mean? This is it for me. Yeah. But really fortunate from the experiences, but more importantly, the people who given me the opportunity. I've been able to take that opportunity and run with it through preparation and through doing it the right way. And again, relationships too. Because it's not about what you know, it's who you know. I tell a lot of people, it's many people that could have done what I've done if given the opportunity, but maybe they didn't know the right person. Maybe you walk in a room and you don't want to really say hello or communicate. I tell everybody, when you walk in a room, if it's 10 people in the room, I'm connecting with 10 people before I leave. Yeah, at some level, because you just you never know.
Yeah. That's so good. Yeah, that's a good tip.
Yeah, and so for me, it's been a lot of relationships, and I just been able to execute along the way, which is great.
That is beautiful, man. Like I hope the viewers are watching and really hearing what he's saying and hearing what him and Q are spitting out. Like all I hear is preparation and perseverance, and perseverance. And when that door opens, you have to look for success too. Yes. You can't just be like, success gonna find you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you said, walk in the room, there's 10 people, connect with 10 people. You don't know what that's going. 25 years later, you don't know. Yeah. You might be playing somebody on TV. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's crazy.
And so let me ask you this, Q, and I'm gonna look at some of these comments and we getting out of here. What was the craziest moment, without giving too much, that you had to portray on set? That you read it on script and said, "Whoa, this happened to you, Rob," and I got to get out here and do it without giving too much.
Yeah. I would say maybe the ending.
Okay.
I don't want to give it away. But
Right. I got you.
Ending, how everything, just came to a peak.
Okay.
I would say that, but it was just pretty much, it was relaxed. What I didn't know is even with like some of the Pistons and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, now I hear their names and I'm actually talking about their names in the movie. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, now I'm connecting this person, Jalen Ivey. I'm connecting Cunningham. All that. I'm like, okay, I see. So once I got that, just got the understanding of it. And it just made it a little bit more easier. So then I started, because that particular time, I wasn't watching the Pistons games. I was working and stuff like that. So I started getting connected with the Pistons and then who they were at that time, because it's a whole new, and these are just guys. Right? You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, now I understand who I'm talking about now and what's going on. And so that helped out really.
Man, doing the work. I love to hear actors doing the work, bro. Yeah. That's such a beautiful thing. I get excited about comments, y'all. Let's look at some of these comments real quick. If we got just the time for a couple of them, and not yet. Okay, cool. So this good. It gives me some time to do this. What I want y'all to shout out the movie. If there still is tickets, I know it was running like crazy. Oh, but and where it's gonna be, what time, the date, and everything. One more time.
Well, it's this Wednesday, which is August 20th. It's at Royal Oak Imagine Theater. Red carpet at 6. Movie starts at 7:15.
About 7:15, yeah.
And let me say that. I don't say this.
Yeah, say it, man.
To the late people who always late take their last minute, you might mess around and miss out. We've been promoting heavy. We've been promoting for the last few months. We've been, even before that, even with pictures when we were filming and stuff like that. So I know, man. Get your tickets. Please get your tickets. There's very few tickets left. This man's story right here, man, is so inspirational. from someone to come, like you said, Dexter and Linwood, and then his NBA and all the stuff in between. Man, you want to come see this, man, because this man's story is very, very, very. It's a great story.
Yeah.
Great story. Yeah.
Would you say this is the most challenging role?
Yes, absolutely, because I'm bringing someone's story to life.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to mess that up, man. So that was the pressure as well. And just and I never ask producers, how did I do? I don't do that, but this is this man's story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I wanted to make sure that I did right by Rob Murphy. And when he gave me that cue, you killing it, it relaxed me a little bit. Yeah. So,
So he as a coach, you understand pressure.
Yeah.
You understand what that could do to anybody in any performance. You know what I
but
mean?
even though I always tell my guys, you know what you do in the dark is gonna happen in the light. So if, like you talked Steph Curry earlier, so at night if he in the gym shooting, if he in that weight room and he getting them extra stair runs in, and he doing everything when nobody's watching. When the lights come on, he gonna perform, right?
Yeah.
So that was the preparation. And Q, like he did the work.
Yeah.
Simple terms, I always say the work works.
man,
The work
yeah,
works.
yeah.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
heavy.
it's simple.
Man.
You gotta put it in.
Just got to put in the work.
Just gotta
That's
put it in. The work
and
always works.
believe in the work that you putting in.
Yeah, it's gonna work for you.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Man, I
did
love that. I love that. Look, I gotta let y'all go, man. I appreciate y'all time so
appreciate you,
much. Thank you, Rob, for coming
Yeah,
through
sure.
and spitting your knowledge and sharing your life with the world twice. You know what I mean?
exactly,
We appreciate that
yeah.
so much, man. And Q, you already know, man. Q, I had to bring you on the podcast.
Man,
you
I
brought me on your podcast.
I want to come back though because
Oh,
this
yeah.
is Monologue Mondays, and since this is Monologue Mondays, as we have our monologues.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to come in. I
man.
want to get my monologue. out.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't have that much time now, but I want to.
Well, you tell me. Okay, all right, you tell me. Don't get me excited about a good time. But no, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate both of you coming. I appreciate your time. Look, this is going to be live on YouTube. If you miss it or you want to catch it later, because, Facebook don't let us keep our videos up as long as they used to. They're not fair anymore. But it will be on YouTube, and you go check out episode 1 all the way to episode 10, which is today, episode 10. And I appreciate these gentlemen. I appreciate you all. In the great words of Denzel Washington, we'll see you on set.
See you on set.